Hi. I am on. Kellen, I think you're on mute, babe.
It's because I was on the wrong side.
I was going to say, it's really weird. I've never been on that side before.
I just felt like I was on the wrong side. Welcome to Candidly Speaking with Chelle and Kelle. I'm Kelle.
And I am Chelle, and we are so thrilled that you are joining us this evening. We have an absolutely spectacular show. Cannot wait to bring in our guest. She is going to be phenomenal. Mm-hmm. So really excited. Kellen, how's your week, girl?
It's good.
Good. Maybe more on that later.
I did a road trip to Ohio this weekend, and that just knocks me. I'm too old for that. I just can't do these 24-hour road, driving for 24 hours and unpacking my daughter. And it's just, let me just tell you, we left at 10 o'clock on Friday night. Okay. Have no idea why we chose 10 o'clock on Friday night to leave.
When you told me that, I kind of questioned, but okay.
So we're, Em and I are just about ready to kill each other because we're so tired and miserable. And it was snowing and raining, and the windshield washer fluid froze in my car. So we had to stop every 20 minutes and dump windshield washer.
It was like 7 degrees here.
Yeah. It was 6. Yeah. It was 6. So we get to the last gas station before we get to Ohio. And she's just so spinning, and she stands in the middle of the gas station where we're pumping gas, and she goes, "Mother, this is the absolute worst idea we've ever had in our whole lives." She's just screaming and being so dramatic, and all these guys that are pumping gas in the big trucks, they're all laughing at us because what's going on with you guys? So, yeah, that was so. It took me a week. It took me a day to recover from that. So Monday was.
But you're good as new now. Hey, Cynthia.
Cynthia Mannion.
You're going to love the show tonight, Cynthia. Absolutely. Let's talk sponsors so that we can get her out here.
Yeah. First sponsor we'll do Blue Sky Video Productions, because without him, we would not be here. He is our YouTube strategist. He is our producer, and he makes our show look really, really awesome. Could you imagine if we did it ourselves?
It would not be happening, honey.
It would be happening. So bad. Anyway, okay. So second is Goodwin Graphics. Oh, okay. Goodwin Graphics. Ronnie Goodwin, he is our dear friend, and he has been kind enough to sponsor our show. We really appreciate you, Ronnie. Cotton Feels Good is his website. He's got all kinds of great stuff there for promotion, and pretty much if you need it, he can make it. Yep. And then finally, Cards That Wow. That's me. And today I am showing the grown-up gift. Remember last week I showed you the kids gift box? Well, I have a subscription box for the grown-ups. So each package comes with 5 cards, a fun pen, wax seals, stamped envelope, and then inside I have just a little note on a template. If you have trouble writing a thank you, or you just need some ideas, it helps you there. So, and you can go to my Cards That Wow website, and you can order there at my new Shopify.
Yay. And your recipients, we promise, will say wow when they open them. It is like getting a little gift. It really is. So Kellen does a great job. So check her out. We are hey, Mark Rodriguez.
How are you?
Glad to have you.
Yeah.
We are also glad to have tonight's guest, you all. I am so pumped about this. She is America's #1 love and relationship expert. So I don't think we've ever had anyone quite like this on the show before.
No.
She is a coach. She is an international speaker. She has helped over 2,200 couples find love. 2,200. That's a lot of people. 4,400 people. That is amazing. She believes that everyone has the God-given right to be happy within a loving relationship. The author of Finding Your Love at Last. And she has a new book about to be released called Swipe for Mr. Right, Finding Your Soulmate in a Virtual World. That is a wonderful, wonderful title. So coming to us from sunny Southern California, please welcome Dr. Renee Gordon.
like our music, Dr. Renee?
I love the music, and I love the calligraphy, and then the stars that move and share, and you're giving them an embedded command. I love that. You know, the embedded command.
Yeah, that's our Bruce.
Yeah, from
That's
neural
right.
linguistic programming. I love that. And people, you must have thousands and thousands of subscribers.
Oh,
Yes.
in our own mind, we do.
One would think, Dr. Renee.
It looks like a really classy show.
Right.
I'm sorry I haven't seen this before. This is the first time, but I would definitely be coming on more often. And I'm telling all my friends and people who I know, my acquaintances and people who I meet in networking groups, to come and join your show, or at least see the replay and press subscribe.
Well, we appreciate that. That would be fantastic, because really, who wouldn't want to subscribe, Renee?
Exactly.
But we have a lot of fun. We have a lot of fun.
We do.
And we are so excited to have you here. So excited. So tell us a little bit about yourself, just to get started.
Well, first, Kellen and Michelle, thank you so much for this golden opportunity to be with you and be with your guests, and to share my message of love and all the messages I have about not only finding your love at last for single people, but finding your boo. And if you have a boo that you're not really quite happy with, and you want to reignite that boo, passion and excitement that you once had when you first got married, you're in the right place, because we're going to be talking about being single and being married, but maybe not so quite, maybe it's a little bit off kilter, and I can help you with all that. And we're probably going to be taking some questions. And so I'm happy to be here. I am America's #1 love and relationship expert. I'm an international speaker, and I also speak on cruise ships and in universities throughout the world. So I have 4 simple tips about love and relationships, but it isn't just your boyfriend, girlfriend, husband, or wife. It's also your clients, of retaining clients. So it's not about just love, but respect, acknowledgement, attention, and affection. So at the end of this show, I'll be offering you a complimentary session, as well as 10 biggest mistakes that people make online finding love in a virtual world. So that'll be towards the end. I'll give you more information about that.
Okay.
It's worth the price of admission just for that.
Absolutely. Absolutely. And Dr. Renee, I want to tell you again, you are just so beautiful, just such a lovely person.
Thank
So
you, Michelle.
we are excited. Now, here's what I want to ask you, because I hear this a lot. Okay. I will hear people talking about the types of people they attract. Okay. Why do I attract the wrong person? What am I doing wrong? What are we doing wrong, Dr. Renee?
Well, it isn't that you're doing anything wrong. We are brought up in our families. Sometimes they're dysfunctional. Sometimes there's addictions of not necessarily alcohol or drugs or anything like that, but their legacy from their parents and then their parents. They don't teach us in school, how to love one another. They don't teach us in school how to take care of our finances, so people overspend on their credit cards to get bad credit scores. They teach us the academia. But the practical thing is that we're all little kids, and a lot of us as adults don't connect with our inner child. And when you connect with that inner child and love on that little child and come from a place of forgiveness, then you can see that you can attract that right person. Now, if you're in a bad relationship because you saw your parents, now it's not nobody on this call or here, but I'm just saying from example from the outside, people who learn about relationships from their parents, or their mother or father treated them poorly, or said that one word that literally changed the trajectory as from a child to an adult. And they'll remember that word or phrase for the rest of their life, even in their 80s, because that little phrase saying, "You're not good enough. You're always a bad boy or always a bad girl." Or "Don't touch the stove." People grow up, they live in these multi-million-dollar homes. I know one client put $180,000 into her kitchen to impress her friends. She doesn't cook. It's like, hello. I said, for real? And she was one of the housewives. The point that I make it's all about the image, and it doesn't really matter. It's what is in your heart. That's being so inauthentic. And that one thing her mother always said, "Don't touch the stove. You're going to burn yourself. Don't touch the stove." She was hesitant to even go into her kitchen. So, and she has millions of dollars, and she paid hundreds of thousands to therapists. And she said, "Oh my gosh, you got this in the first 10 minutes we're together?" I said, "Well, yes." And she said, "Sign me up. Here's my credit card." I didn't have to go through the whole, thing with her, and she said, sign me up. The fact that you picked that up really quickly, that she was told when she was a little girl, don't touch the stove. So she was scared of the stove. You see how that the legacy of that goes into relationship after relationship after relationship. So that's what I help people do. And when that's a great question, by the way, Michelle. And there's so many people that are afraid, or they go out there and they keep going through meeting the same people, because you're the same person unless you clean up your old baggage. And that's what I help people do. I help you unload it with the valets, and you come into a new space of clarity, authenticity, and creating a place of certainty. So you're not going out to a nightclub or throwing up a big bowl of cooked spaghetti to the ceiling and say, oh, let's see what happens online. Mm-hmm. And because if we see what happens, it's kind of like whatever drops in your head. So I help you create more certainty. So you're in that ocean of uncertainty, let's say online dating. Let's just say, for instance, you can find more attraction for more people of like minds. And I help you throw the net, help you with profile and the photos and things like that. But that's all the surfacey stuff. What I do, Michelle, is I go in deep and I go in wide in a very simple and loving way. So you're not going to feel hurt, but you can feel vulnerable, but you can feel I give you a safe harbor to do and share whatever you want, and keeping it very confidential.
Okay. Well, Eric, he'll be paying attention so he can apply what he has learned on you, Michelle.
Bam.
Bam is recently divorced.
Like I think it was final maybe yesterday.
I think so, yeah.
Yeah. So very recently.
This is a hot topic right now. There's a lot. Are
you going to be celebrating? Is Michelle celebrating, or is she upset, sad?
Okay, well, we were talking about Eric Bam. Eric Bam, I think, his divorce was final yesterday.
Oh, Eric, okay.
Yeah, he's our friend.
Okay.
He's our friend.
So it sounds like he's here wearing bedazzled pants. Mm-hmm. So he must be a fun character. Is he from Beverly Hills also? Is he in my neck of the woods? Because that's what they do here.
He's from Oklahoma.
He's not. He's from Oklahoma. He's from Tulsa, Oklahoma.
Oh, but that Tulsa's okay. But does he live there now, or is he in California, in Los Angeles?
No, he's in Oklahoma.
He's in Oklahoma. Yeah. Right. Yeah. I don't think there's any California connection with Bam that I'm aware of. Okay. But he's a hilarious guy. You'd like him a lot, Renee.
I'm sorry. What is he, Michelle? He's a what?
He's just hilarious. He's funny.
Okay. Well, the fact that he's wearing bedazzled pants says he's a character.
Yes. So, what about online dating? I don't know. And Kellen, you jump in if you have anything to add here on online dating, because I know nothing about it, but you might know something.
I know a little bit. I do know that in talking to Dr. Renee, that what you're putting out there is what you're going to attract. And like we had talked in the beginning about how all I attracted were scammers. The only people they were not legitimate people. They weren't the people in their profiles. They were from another country and just the little bit that I've been talking with Dr. Renee, I've been getting some good leads. We'll call them.
We talked a few hours, Kellen, and I'm not going to divulge what we talked about, but the process I put you through, everybody I work with everybody's customized. So it's not everybody in a big mastermind thing and I'm giving them all the same stuff. Everybody's unique and different. And everyone wants to feel loved and acknowledged, and they want to be feeling significant. The words that I share is the words that I share. They're simply words, but it's after you leave the call, it's the feeling that you get. And the feeling that Kellen had, is that we talked a little bit. She did some writing. We talked a little bit, did some more writing. Now, what I helped her do is clear her vibration and frequency to attract the right people. Now, she got some real good ones, not doozies, not like scammers or with all these accents and they don't want to get in front of a camera because they're like from another planet. They were real deal, all-American, made in America guys. And that's what she wanted, made in America. And that's what we wanted, not somebody from someplace where they're going to take her to the Ivory Coast and sell her for slavery. Yeah. It isn't like that. So I know I'm just making fun of it. What I'm sharing is that just that little bit, Kellen, raise your vibration and frequency. Mm-hmm. Yes, you're not quite meeting your love at last because it doesn't happen so quickly. We still have to do some clearing, but doing it in a loving way from a place of forgiveness and have that open space. But because we're working together now, the vibration frequency, I can feel it. When you're sending me pictures and things like that, and just tweaking things on your profile. We did some advanced work, but we have to go back again to the fundamentals.
I kind of jumped over some steps.
Oh yeah, we did because you're so excited. And speaking of fundamentals, if you're on the verge of divorce or breaking up with somebody, you don't want to go out right away and find somebody right away, because finding a relationship, if you want to get married, you have to get married in a place of building a foundation rather than building your home with a bunch of twigs. The twigs are not going to withstand tornadoes, hurricanes, rain, storm, thundering, lightning, because that's all the obstacles that you meet in life. If you build it with a foundation of brick and mortar and strong wood and stucco and cement and a hard, firm roof and all those kinds of foundations, if you're into building houses, the idea of that metaphor will help you go through your journey of finding love. And it's not going to be that difficult. People put all these obstacles. Oh, I'm this age, or I have this little thing about my head. When I was growing up, somebody said this, and so now forever and ever I'm going to be this kind of person. No, that's just you. Don't limit yourself in your head. Your own prisoner. One of the things I use as a metaphor is the furniture in your home. Now, when all of us were little kids at one time, we had little crushes, maybe junior high or high school. Imagine carrying a chair that's maybe, Michelle, that you're sitting on. You carry that chair of a boyfriend named Timmy. Maybe you're 16 or 17. That's when our hormones are raging. You kiss him. He's your first kiss, your first love. Then you break up when you go to the prom, or you see him with another girl, it breaks your heart. Then you go into college. You fall in love with another guy as a freshman. Oh my gosh, again, the hormones are raging. Oh, this is the one. Oh, by the way, I always tell girls between the ages of 18 and 24, 26, don't get married, have fun. Don't necessarily get intimate unless you're a boy, wear a party hat. But the point that I'm making is that when you put that chair on your back and you walk around that room, Michelle, tied up, on your back for half an hour, that's your first love. Just imagine this, you're sitting on a chair right now. You strap it on with a rope and you walk around for 30 minutes, literally. That's the weight of it. Then you fall in love with another person. You find the couch in your living room. You strap that onto your back. Actually, that is absolutely impossible. Usually the first or second loves are the ones that really hit home a lot and really give us kind of like the entry point to love, to finding love. But it's not really love. Sometimes it's codependency. There's all sorts of obstacles that happen because you're emitting from your vibration and frequency. You're attracting that because you're not just sleeping with them, the person that you're with, but you're also sleeping with all of their experiences, good and bad. They could have been abused. They could have been hit. They could have been sexually abused. All that stuff, unless you get it cleared and into the open and letting it go by a lot of the exercises I put you through, you're going to be getting a lot of effed up relationships. And then people go on and on. Men spend a lot of money on lunches and dinners, to go out, or tickets, or here and there. Women spend money on getting dressed, right makeup, the right dress, getting your hair blown out, whatever it is, getting your Brazilian done. It's all in the hundreds of dollars, hundreds and hundreds of dollars. So what I'm sharing with you, and it's a waste of time. You can always make money, but you can't replace that time of dating the wrong person over and over again. And that's what people do, because a lot of times people say, oh no, I'll be fine, or it doesn't fit in my budget. But what is your time worth? What is the value of your time worth? Are you playing Russian roulette every time you go out and wasting time again? And there's ways of meeting people online, on meeting them on Zoom. I get people into the Zoom rooms really quickly, meeting each other, because then you don't have to waste your time getting up, going to Starbucks, getting back home again. You can kind of interview them on Zoom, which is much better. Now, as Kellen was saying, and I asked her, is that okay if I share that about the scammers?
Yeah. Oh,
okay.
yeah.
Okay. And it's nothing personal. And I have Kellen Ann's permission. When she met these people, and I said from another planet with all these accents and selling her to the Ivory Coast as a white slavery, which I was just joking. What was happening is that they were trying to ask her things, and she knew that phrases that they used, but they wouldn't get on Zoom. They wouldn't get on Zoom because right away you could tell that person's from a third world country. Mm-hmm. And you could use, that's a red flag right there. So don't waste your time. Next. So that's what I'm sharing, Michelle, is that when I help people get to another stage of my process, I also help them with writing the correct profile and helping them with photos, even though I'm not there sitting with a photographer. I help you have gorgeous shots, help you with hair, makeup, and everything, even though I'm on Zoom. So
Wow.
I'm
It's a
between all
lot.
that.
I mean, dating now is nothing like it was when
See,
we
I
were.
can't. I mean, the last time I dated was 1980 something.
I want to say 94.
Yeah,
I mean,
things have changed, and of course, there was no such thing as online anything, But is there anyone who still does it the old-fashioned way? You think,
you mean like meeting at a bar?
or whatever?
No, well, I have events that I do for singles. And I did an event in 2019 and 2018. It was Dr. Renee's Love Boat. It was 2018 was the first one. I bought 50 rooms and I put a deposit on 50 rooms for a cruise ship from Los Angeles to Mexico. It was only a 3-day cruise. I didn't know if I was going to sell it. And the cruise said, 30 days before, you got to come up with all the money for all the cabins for the 50 rooms. So I said, this is like 3 months out. I said, what am I going to do? So what I did is I connected with Macy's, the local Macy's in my area. And I said, I'd like to do a fashion show and use all your clothes and do the fashion show in the store. And everybody buy $100 tickets, but that $100 ticket is not for me, but it's for the store. So that gift card that everybody bought was a gift card for them to buy clothes for resort wear. They didn't even have a resort wear department. I just made it up. This is all about marketing. So then they said, well, do you want to who's going to be the models? Should we go to Ford Modeling Agency or Elite Modeling Agency? I said, no, no, and no. Because even if I had the money to pay for top runway models, I still wouldn't do it. What I did is I had people of influence at the Chamber of Commerce. I got all the presidents, the male and female, and then I got their spouses. It didn't matter what they looked like, but because they're people of influence, and I also got the local mayor, the council people, and their spouses to walk the runway. And they were so happy and excited that they brought all of their people in their database to come to the event. It was standing room only. We sold out within 2 weeks after the event. And it's all about, and there was couples and there were single people, and it was a huge event and it was a huge success. We did it 2 years in a row. And so when you do singles event, it's a great place to meet people, but also people know people. So if you have dinner parties and things like that, a bar is okay. I've been to one bar in my life, and it was called a dive bar. Have you heard of that? Dive bar. So a group of us from the Chamber of Commerce, they just became a member of the chamber, and somebody said, "Oh, that's a dive bar on that street." I said, "What is a dive bar?" So we all went there, and I said, "Oh, now I get what a dive bar is." You smell the cigarettes and the beer, and it smelled like a urinal. It's like, I don't like that. Yeah. So it just depends. It's always good to go with a group and invite people, especially people to come to your table and things like that. So, or go to dinner parties. I was invited a lot to dinner parties. So I have a whole protocol on etiquette when you go to a dinner party as well.
Let's see, Charles is here. Hey, Charles. So he's going to finally figure out. I think he knows what love is. He's got a beautiful wife.
Oh yeah, and he has a beautiful family. I call him Sir Charles.
Yes,
Sir Charles,
he's a wonderful man.
Oh, he's wonderful. He has a great Bible study on Sunday mornings.
Yes, he's a great guy.
It's every morning.
Very, very good man.
Yes, every morning. But I try
man.
to go to Sunday morning at 6 a.m. and then I have.
It's 6 for you.
6 o'clock West Coast, and then at 7 o'clock is Jeffrey. So
yeah. Okay, so I have, and I'm sorry because I'm asking all of these questions. Kellen, do you?
No, you're fine. I'm living all this.
Tell me. I just have these questions. I actually have 2 questions.
Okay,
Dr. Renee. First of all, do you personally believe in love at first sight?
It can happen, but be aware that I call that a great takeoff, but crash landing. So you gotta be really, really careful. It's also where your headspace is at. If your headspace is at, oh, it's the holidays, it's just Christmas, and then now New Year's. Again, I'm by myself, and there's no +1. Valentine's is coming around the corner, and you're very vulnerable, especially if you're lonely. Valentine's Day, nobody wants to be alone. Mm-hmm. To me, if I wasn't with my husband, I'd rather be alone and happy than married and miserable. I'm just going to say that. Marriage is wonderful, but I'd rather be single and happy than married and miserable. I happen to find I call him my husband from heaven, but it wasn't because it was just guessing and let's see what happens. I was engaged 9 times. I don't know if you know that or not. 9 times.
Wow.
And the person I was engaged to, Michelle, was a person who I mentioned to you before earlier.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
So I was engaged to you for a little while. Yes. And I don't want to name names now, but
Sure.
a lot of notable people I was engaged to. I can say this right now because he has passed, but one of them was John Matuzak he was a football player.
Yeah.
Really big guy. Really big.
Yeah.
So much fun. But it was too intense. Just so intense. And I said, I don't think I really like this, not for the rest of my life. So it was just a lot of red flags. And I said, when I broke up with him, I was really sad and we cried. We were still best friends. And, I had gone to his funeral and he had died a few years ago. But what it was is red flags. And what you want to do, and when I broke up with the 9th engagement, I prayed to God really hard and I wrote it on a piece of paper and I prayed to God. I said, God, help me find a way. Show me what I'm doing wrong. And there was all of a sudden this light, like I felt this light within me. And I said, am I being born again because I feel this light again? What it was is I felt renewed, profound freedom that I don't need to find anybody. I'm perfectly fine the way I am. I don't need anybody. My car is paid off. My FICO score is over 850, 800. And I have jewelry on my own fur coats. And I gave all the jewelry away and beautiful fur coats and gifts that people had given me in the years. When I broke up with them, I said, here's everything else. Actually, one of them had given me a pink slip for the car. The pink slip when you get when you pay off the car. The pink slip, the keys to a brand new blue Cornish Rolls Royce. It was gorgeous. It was a Bentley. And the point is I gave everything away because it's not good to keep that energy and that karma if you're going to break up with somebody. It's just not nice. Flowers is different. But
That reminds me,
all the expensive presents are people give that back.
that reminds me of something big that you said to me. And I don't even know if you realize how big it was, but when you're on the sites and you know that it's not going to work, but you don't want to ghost them because you know how it feels to be ghosted. You gave me that saying, like, I wish you, what I have it written down, but.
Okay. So I'm going to share that story. Thank you, Kellen, for that reminder. I appreciate that. When I went online before that, I was engaged 9 times. So when I went online, I went with a clean slate. So I left all those 9 guys, and 2 weeks before the altar, 4 weeks, and invitations were already sent, literally. So that's a whole nother story. But after the 9th person, some friends of mine said, Renee, why don't you go on this is Easter time. I had 28 people over at my home for dinner on Easter dinner. You never bring anybody home for us to meet. I said, I know, because they're not worthy enough. So when everybody left, some friends of mine said, well, let's put you online. So they put me online. This is at April of 2000. So from April of 2000 to September of 2000, 2,874 men emailed me. Now that's a lot. Now I didn't even know in 1999 to 2000, you know how they say the Wi-Fi or the Y something to do with, I don't know what it was, Y2K.
Yeah.
So I got my computer. I said, oh my God, my first computer. This is in December. And I said, I'm going to be so smart. So when I was done playing on the computer working, I unplugged it. I said, I'm not going to get any diseases in my computer. So I didn't know anything about computers or anything that you're not supposed to do that. Getting back to Kellen's question, the first night was 150 people, 157 actually, emailed me. The morning I said, all these people profiles coming in. I said, this doesn't look right. This doesn't look right. So the first 20, I said, I'm sorry, we're not quite the right fit, but God bless you. I hope you find your love at last. I typed each one because at the time, Kellen, I didn't know how to cut and paste. I typed one. And when I did that, I felt that in my heart that I was God blessing them with God's will and giving them that love and energy. So I was passing that love that love that God was giving me to know what is right for me, to passing it on to that person that I'm denying, that I said, this is not the right fit. But instead of blowing them off and not being nice, you have to show love and right action and correct exchange. because they took the time to go through this whole long paragraph. Oh, I think you're pretty and blah, 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 blah. I just said the right phrase. So it's not ghosting because it's rude. And it does come back.
Nobody wants that. It hurts.
No, nobody comes back. It always comes back. And nobody wants that feeling, that icky thing. So I just gave out a lot of love. And that's how this is how this book came to be. Finding Your Love at Last. I kept saying, hope you find your love at last. God bless you. So that's the phrase I used, Kellen.
Mm-hmm.
So
I love that.
And then I went out with 87. I went out with 87 men. And then I had my top 5 questions. And I just went to like something simple. I didn't want them to spend a lot of money on me because I didn't want to spend like 2 hours for dinner, like a $250 dinner, 2 hours listening to a guy go blah, 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 blah about nothing. And I thought, oh, why am I here? And it's like, get a waste of time. So what do you mind if I tell the story about how I went through the 87 real quick?
No, I'm dying to hear it.
Okay, so what I did is I was at the local Starbucks in Beverly Hills on Rodeo Drive in Cannon, and I said to the barista, I said, okay, so I'm casting for a movie, and everybody is a movie star in LA in Beverly Hills, and you see them all over the place. So for me to say I'm a casting director for this new movie, blah blah blah, I said, so every half hour I'm going to be meeting, some casting movies. So they said that no problem. So the valet would open the door to go to Starbucks. I would see their car or something, and they would have like hair growing out of their ears or, just like sloppy or dirty nails. They would come in. I would say, hello, nice to meet you. We'd chit chat for 20 minutes to half an hour. And I encouraged everyone, please be on time. Then I would wait 15 minutes. In that 15 minutes, I'm journaling who they were, and everything about them, like a doctor would, between each session. Then at the top of the hour, another person comes in. So the barista's watching me interviewing all these people. They don't know what we're talking about. So it was really great. And then I went out. Then from that point, I went to the top 27 to 18, 18 to 9, and on and on. And then I met my husband.
So it worked.
Yeah, it worked. Before we even met, it was really funny because he wasn't online. He was helping one of his friends who was online, who only got 3 people after 4 months. And her headline said, "Are you the one for me?" It was from a book from Dr. Barbara DeAngelis. And he was saying, my husband was saying, it was my future husband was saying to his friend, who's a girl, guys don't like that. Are you the one for me? They don't like to get all clingy and everything. Mm-hmm. So when she was talking, he just happened to scroll down. And my headline said, model, ex-model/chef. I was a model for Shiseido Cosmetics, spokesmodel and a commercial model for them as well. And then I also have a culinary background, so I definitely know how to cook. I had a catering company in Beverly Hills, did all the stuff for the Academy Awards and the Music Awards and Country Music Awards as well. That was my company called Ambrosia Gourmet. So he saw that, and it caught his eye. And then when he emailed me back and forth, I said, I don't like this email stuff. Do you think you'd just pick up the phone and call me? So I left my number. He called me. I called him. And then we started talking. First night was 4 hours. Next morning was 2.5 hours. Next day was 3 hours. And it went on for months. And then he said, I'm in Santa Monica. That's a beach town here in Los Angeles. And he said, I'm staying at the Lowe's Hotel. I said, oh, that's one of my favorite hotels. They have the best seafood buffet and champagne brunch. I love to eat big banquet food like crabs and champagne, all the champagne you want, and lobster tails and things like that. So I said, I don't want coffee. Let's just meet. Let's just go for the buffet. And he said, okay, whatever you want to do. I said, by the way, I don't know what you look like. He said, what do you mean you don't know what I look like? He said, we've been talking for months, 4 or 5 hours a day. And he was thinking, what is it? Catfish. Is it Catfish, Kellen?
Yeah.
When you have the wrong picture. And then he thought maybe it's a catfish thing or something like that, not ghosting. So, I don't care what you look like. You could be short, fat, bald, look like a troll. I don't care. I don't care what kind of car you drive. I know I'm going to like you because I felt his heart. Literally, for me to fall in love with somebody, it doesn't matter whether they're bald, buck teeth, big teeth, ugly, fat, or you feel someone's heart and you know that the love is there. So I said, it doesn't matter. And he said, you're kidding. I said, no. So he said, didn't you see my email? I said, is that the same as a website? He said, no. This is when everybody had a Palm Pilot. So obviously I know how to do that now. So I said, okay, I'll meet you at the hotel. I walk in and I have these stiletto shoes, like acrylic stilettos. You've seen those, Michelle, haven't you?
Oh, yeah.
4.5-inch heels. And I'm
She's
in
a
there.
heel girl.
Yeah, it's all girly girl. Big hair, makeup. I have my little Louis Vuitton bag with my little poodle in it, or my Maltese, and I'm going in my little purse, and I'm and it's like click, 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 click. I go to the front desk and up this long hallway, and I guess he was sitting behind a pillar because he wanted to see what I really looked like. He thought maybe I could be fat and look like a troll, and maybe I'm bald. No, and so I go up to him and I say to the hostess, I said, "Is Mr. Connolly here?" And she said, "Yes, he's standing right behind you." So I looked at him and said, "Oh my God, thank you, God," really loud. He's tall, thick hair, salt and pepper hair, bright blue eyes. I go, "Oh my God, it looks like Alec Baldwin a little bit." Oh, there he is. That's my whole family.
Aww.
Oh,
That's,
look at
that's
you.
the girls. That's Lord Bentley. That's my dog, the Russian Wolfhound. That's our dog, I should say. That's Jean-Luc, who's a poodle. He's been on 14 cruises. He's been on all the cruises with me because I speak on a lot of cruise ships. And those are the girls. So 3 Malteses, Joy, Harmony, and Bliss.
Aww.
Oh, how
Yeah, and
beautiful.
their matching little bags are right there too.
Look at
So
you
that's my
all.
family. That's what I get to wake up to every morning. I'm so favored and blessed. I'm so
Yes,
blessed by God, and I have
I
so
would
many
say
many
so.
gratitudes.
Well, good for you. I love that story, Renee. I
know.
do. I love that story.
I didn't mean to go on too long about that. Kellen,
No, that was,
No.
my goodness.
there's a lot of things in between that I kind of
Well,
cut out
sure.
to keep
Sure.
on point.
They'll have to sign up and talk with you in person to get the rest of
Absolutely.
that.
Absolutely. Let me ask you this. What would you say to someone who, their heart has just been through the ringer? I don't know that I can ever do this again. I don't know, even if there is someone out there, I don't know if I'm, have it in me to do this
Mhm.
again. What would you say to that person?
Great question, Michelle. Excellent question. There's a lot of people out there with a lot of pain. There's a lot of people out there who haven't connected their inner child, or they don't even know what the word means. And I usually I don't really take people through that process unless it's somebody special. And normally I don't spend a lot of, a lot of time in the beginning, usually 30 minutes, 45 minutes. And I usually kind of get a feel. But if I go a little longer than that and I take that person through that process, it's because I have a innate feeling that I know I can help them. I know in certainty in my visceral cells that I can help that person. And it's literally connecting with your inner child. But that is also another process I take people through. There's so many people in that place of pain, but many people would rather sit in their poop. I was going to say another word, but they'd rather sit in the stinky poop and it smells and it's squishy and than to find like, oh, here, Dr. Renee is going to pull me out and give me a shower and take me to Burke Williams for a massage and full on body wash and clean me up. So I'll find my love at last. Now, all this is metaphorically, but there is that poop, that mindset. And I help people. I don't know if you ladies are into health a lot, but here in Los Angeles, we do a lot of things called detoxing, where we don't eat for a day and you clean your system and you scrub it down and not in your intestines and you just clean your system. I help you do that with your head, to do that clearing. And it literally is a clearing. Remember I talked about that furniture you have on your shoulder or your back, you strapped it on. You can imagine how heavy that would be, right? For just a half an hour, let alone that was from the time you're a junior high to the time you're over 25 or 30 years old. That's like an impossible thing to do. What I do is I help you take all that furniture off your back, all the old loves and all that sadness and all the things that you were told when you were a child, not necessarily your parents, but other people who you admired, whether you're a Boy Scout, Girl Scout, a priest, whatever it is, or somebody who just literally said that one word, and I can help you change the trajectory and have you have a different perspective. And coming from a place of love and forgiveness and believing in yourself and knowing that God believes in you too. And God didn't, put us on this world to have us sad.
Mm-hmm.
Remember the quote that you had said earlier, Michelle?
That I said?
Yeah, you were reading it on my bio.
Oh, yes. I've got it right here.
It's
You
our
believe
God
that,
given right.
yes, to be happy within a loving relationship.
Exactly. So we're not meant to be here sad. And yes, when you're in a relationship, things can happen, but it's dealing with those challenges in the relationship that you go with the flow. And it isn't just meeting somebody because you're gorgeous and blonde hair, and which you are, Michelle, and both of you ladies are gorgeous. But it isn't the exterior; it's also what's in the heart. Because all this can fade away like that, not like that, but you know what I'm saying. But they gotta love you through thick and thin, through sickness and in health. I'm gonna say that one more time: through sickness and in health. I myself have gone through some challenges, and this is the first time I've ever been in this place, and it's like I've healed faster. And because you have that support, that's always great to have family. But could you imagine having that one single person who's your best friend for year after year after year, giving you that love and support, and just going along with everything, and just being there and being your backbone, and knowing that you have someone who has your back all the time. So yes, I can help you. I can not help you. I can help you, both of you, but I can help anybody in the audience pull out of that slump, helping you get out of all that poop, and saying, there's a lot of people saying, oh, I can't invest in that right now. My taxes are due pretty soon, or, it's not so good because of the, big pause that we have in this world. I'm not going to name it what everybody keeps hearing. I'm calling it a pause. And that's what I'm saying. It's all a different perspective. When you invest in yourself, you're investing in your future. So your future looks a little bit more loving. You know that if you're working hard, you're an entrepreneur, you're coming home to a dark house again, or there's nobody home with the lights on, cooking and the table set, and they're just embracing you, or that special guy saying, honey, let's go out to dinner. There's nobody there. You're an entrepreneur. Many women, have businesses. They put their career in front of their business. And because they've been hurt, so they pile all this work on top of themselves. By the time they're 60, 65 years old, they're still alone, never been married, or married once for a short time, and then say, oh, I don't need this. I don't need this. We all need love. We all need love.
We sure do.
Yeah,
we sure do.
So the first part of loving yourself, the first relationship that I help you with is first loving yourself. That's where the relationship foundation starts, is literally loving yourself and accepting God, of course. But if you don't love yourself, no matter what happens, and it isn't looking in front of the mirror and saying, oh, I love you. That may be part of it. But there's all this stuff that you got to clean up. It's kind of like vacuuming, and you're living in your home for 50 years, but you never move the furniture, but you're vacuuming around it. That's exactly what I do. I help you move the furniture to vacuum underneath it. And that's all the icky stuff. Yeah. Does that make sense, Michelle and Kellen?
It does. The stuff, because I think sometimes I'm very, I guess, conscious of what other people see and their perception. And I know that we all are, to a certain extent. But yes, that absolutely resonates with me. Maybe what's under the rug or what's.
Yeah, I have an opinion about that, Michelle, about what other people think. And this is from Jeffrey Gittimer. F them. Okay, that's what I say.
I am getting better with each birthday. Actually, Renee, I find myself being a little less concerned.
Yeah, and you know what? Exactly, Michelle. And all the birthdays is just a number. Now, I love celebrating my birthday, but it's just a number. Yeah. And so don't think of yourself getting older. Think of yourself being even wiser, more beautiful, and even more glamorous. I mean, if you think of yourself getting even more glamorous, that's even better. The point that I'm saying is that the other people don't pay your bills. So it doesn't matter.
Right.
It doesn't matter. You think of that.
Right. I think that is coming in my situation. I do think that is coming with age. I am getting more and more confident. Not that I've ever really had a problem with self-esteem or self-confidence, but I'm getting more that way. And I guess, and of course, we all want to be loved. We've established that, and I absolutely think that. But I don't want to say, because you hear everyone say now, well, you're enough. But I think again with each passing year, I have maybe more appreciation for myself and what I bring to the table. And then, following that, what I could contribute to a relationship. Mm-hmm. So, yeah.
And honestly, Michelle, don't you think like today you're better than you were 5 years ago, 10 years ago. I mean,
Oh,
I
I
was
know
a
I
hot
am.
mess 10 years ago. I didn't
Yeah,
know I
I
was a
know I
hot
am.
mess, but I mean, my confidence right now is so high, and
Yeah.
I feel like it's going to be so much easier to make a good decision at this point.
It is. Well, and we've said not on this season, but we have said, on last season's show, it became a little bit of a recurring theme that I would not, I used to look significantly different than I do now. Used to be a lot better. But I would not trade what I have now, the way I feel about myself now, what I know now, the wisdom, I guess, that I have gained as I have aged. I would not for a second even consider, trading any of that to go back and look like I used to look in a bikini, not interested in that now. I like more who I've become. So, yeah.
Yeah. And
So,
what it is also too, Michelle, is accepting yourself for who you are.
Yeah.
You know.
I agree.
Charles says, I never thought I'd hear Jeffrey Gitomer quoted in a show about love, but then it happened. And it happened here on Chelle Kelle. Right?
You never know what's going to happen, do you?
No.
Well, can I ask you another question? I'm sorry.
Please.
Can I ask you something
I'm
else?
here. I'm here for you. I'm here to be a
Okay.
part to help you.
This is something actually that I have recently debated with some folks. So I would be interested to know what you think about this, Renee. Is there, first of all, I'm very strong in my faith, very strong in my faith. And my question is, did God make one person for each of us? Is there one person tailor-made for you? Is there maybe a couple of people that might work? Does that not apply at all? I mean, what do you think about that?
Well, I think yes and no. I think God has God has He's already planned our life already.
Sure.
Our fate is in His hands. That's
Sure.
pretty much it. And the more you believe, the more you pray to Him. I write to Him all the time, dear God, and I write a letter. I also say my prayers and morning devotions, but I also write to Him in my gratitude journal that I've been for year after year, and things that I'm grateful for. If you write down what you want, but look at yourself first, but knowing what you want, and Michelle, when we get off of this call, I'll help you out with that. Is writing a gratitude journal of things that you're grateful for and exactly what you're looking for. But to know what you're looking for, you have to know what your values are first. Your values and beliefs are two distinctive things. But if you don't know what your values are, like that, in just in 10 words, but it's one word after another word after another, it's a single word. It's not a phrase. If you don't know that quite yet, you're not going to be attracting that right person. So yes and no, meaning there's somebody for you at this very moment. But 6 months from now, Michelle, you may evolve in something different because you've read books, you work with me, you work with different coaches, whatever it is, but work with me as a love coach. Yes, I will help you change it, literally the trajectory of your life. And not only that, but having that consistent love in your life, you can now focus on whatever business or career that you have in front of you, instead of not necessarily worrying, but that empty feeling that you have, that ickiness, like, oh, it's going to be Mother's Day or it's going to be Valentine's Day, and kind of that icky, that little thing, or then there's no +1, and knowing that you're going to be in bed by yourself again. And it's kind of it's not a great feeling. God made us to be with somebody. That's what I got to say. That doesn't mean you have to live with somebody, but He made us be with somebody that we love and who loves on us. It's all about love and being in gratitude.
And that's what we're doing right now, is the value part. Remember, you said write down 40. Was it 40?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
And then I need to pick my top 5.
Right.
So that,
we didn't quite go there quite yet, but we were going there. But again, Kellen, that was raising your vibration frequency. Mm-hmm. Now, there's people who have found their love at last. Like, let's say Sir Charles, who's on here right now. He's been married many, many years. For whatever reason, his values and his wife's values melded together without even knowing that there's a value, there's a belief. They're probably both God-fearing people. They both go to church. They raise their children in the way that their parents raised them. And so that's that legacy because he had loving parents, his wife had loving parents, and then they're passing that on to their children. And that's why they have such a beautiful relationship. I've seen, them on Facebook and his birthday recently and things like that. You can feel it by the vibration that he puts out there. And also when he's speaking, but you could just feel it. And what I've done is I've transposed all that and putting that all into a vocabulary and communication and language that people, all my clients, can understand what I'm talking about. So they find great fortune in finding their love at last quickly and faster than they would if they're going on their own, figuring it out, sitting in their poop and throwing a bowl of spaghetti up in the air. All that, and and it's not nice. I mean, bowl of spaghetti and sitting in poop at the same time. Not good. It doesn't.
Now there's a visual.
Not,
And then having all this furniture connected to your back.
yeah, don't forget that.
It's a whole hot mess. You said that, a whole hot mess, but that's a whole hot mess. And smelling too.
Oh my
gosh.
goodness.
So we got a couple more things before we go. So let's get ready for the question, and then we'll talk about some things that Dr. Renee wants to share with us. Does that sound good?
Okay. Yeah.
Isn't that cool? I love that every
I
time.
love that. I love that artwork. And Kellen, is that your artwork? Is that your
No,
graphic?
that's all Bruce. That's all Bruce.
That's Bruce?
It's all Bruce.
He's really creative.
He is.
He's a good guy.
Is he in Los Angeles? I mean, he's great.
He's outside of Chicago.
Oh, okay.
Suburb, one of the suburbs.
Yeah.
I can't remember which one.
Can't either. He's Chicago. Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. Dr. Renee Gordon, let's talk moisturizer.
Oh, yes. I got,
Okay.
I definitely know my skincare. than anything.
Let's talk. What do you put on that beautiful face of yours?
Okay, so here's my secrets. Since I was little, I've done beauty pageants when I was little also, and talent shows and things like that. I was Miss Hawaii, all that stuff. So I've learned since I was a little girl, always put moisturizer. You don't have to wear makeup, maybe a little lip gloss, a little chapstick, but always have moisturizer. Always take off your makeup, no matter what. Don't drink a lot. Don't drink a lot of alcohol. And if you do, drink a lot of water to hydrate. Alcohol pulls out the water out of your skin and creates wrinkles. So I've been taught many, many years ago from my grandmother and my aunt. My aunt was a model, and she had a lot of clothing stores. She had a lot of boutiques up and down the East Coast. And she told me also, always hydrate and drink a lot of water and moisturizer. Now, what I use is I use hyaluronic acid.
Mm-hmm.
You know how they talk about that in commercials all the time? I can't believe I'm talking about this on a podcast. I actually get it on Amazon. So I get it in the little puff form. It's clear and it's like glycerin. Then I use the facial cream called La Prairie. It's a little bit pricey, but it's definitely worth it. My cosmetics is I use MAC Cosmetics for all the colors. Lipstick, lip liner, and lipstick. Actually, you want to see all my makeup I own in the world? Can I show it to you?
Yes.
Okay, that I own in the world. This is it. Can you all see this?
Wow.
All the makeup
I think I have that much in my purse.
Yeah, this is all the makeup I own in the world. I don't have a lot. I mean, my closet,
Here's
forget
mine.
about it.
I have a bucket.
Oh my gosh. Yeah, this is what I have. Now, don't ask me about clothes and jewelry. I have lots of that. But I don't believe in having a lot of crap around because I hate to use that word because it's wasteful. I don't like to waste my money on makeup and doodads. I love giving money of tithing. So when I'm doing something like makeup and things like that, kind of superficial, materialistic, I say, okay, God, I pray to God. I'm in the store. I said, should I pay $15 for mascara or give that to the church? I'm going to give it to the church. The more I give and give of tithing and no less makeup, it's like, oh, I feel so good. So that's my philosophy about makeup and tithing. I know I kind of like linked it together. So that's
fine.
Yeah.
I love that.
Yeah.
Me too.
I always money on makeup.
Burt's
Don't do
Bees.
that. Oh, I have that too. I love my chapstick.
Bert's, we're looking for a sponsor. Another one.
Oh, yeah. There you go. You know what? I have the same thing. I have the same thing right here. See the Burt's Bees right here?
Yep.
I don't use that. I'm going to have to get some of that.
We got to
So
get the Burt's
good.
Bees
So
as a
good.
sponsor for you. That'll be great.
Makes your lips super soft.
That would, you know what I use? At night, I use that Beekman 1802. I use their lip treatment
Mm.
at
Very
night.
good.
Yeah. I
Are
like
you
that
still
stuff.
using that lash stuff?
Yes.
What's it called?
Babe Lash.
Babe. Oh boy, there's a difference in mine.
Yes, I really like it. But it's funny because today, actually just a couple of hours ago, I went online to or I need to order some more, and I saw a thing for organic castor oil. Okay. And I spent longer than I should have looking at the reviews, the actual customer reviews, and the ones that post photos of their before and afters. It was amazing. What their lashes look like, what their brows look like, the hair on their head, if they had some thin spots. Organic, it was $9.99.
Wow.
So I don't know.
I want to check out that. Is it tallow? What's that stuff Jen talked about
She
last
was
week?
talking about, beef tallow. Are
Beef
you familiar
tallow.
with that?
Have you heard of
Renee?
that, Renee? Dr. Renee?
What is it? Is it like bone broth?
Yeah, I think
Oh,
that's what
bone
it
broth?
is.
Is it
Well,
beef fat?
It's
Yeah.
tallow.
Yeah.
Tallow.
Beef
Is it
tallow.
beef fat? Oh, I know what that is.
Mhm.
Yeah. It's a fat that doesn't wrinkle.
Yeah, she says it's
Oh,
amazing.
it doesn't. I'm sorry. It doesn't render. It doesn't render.
Right.
So
There we.
I don't know.
I thought
was
I
told
can't
it's
be
what
the
used
only
to make
person
candles.
that
Say
doesn't
that
know
again?
about it.
What?
You can use that for making candles.
Oh,
You can. Yes, you can.
it sounds like you can use it for everything.
Yeah.
She
yeah.
says it's basically miracle product.
Mhm.
I don't know anything about that. Hey, JR. Thanks.
Charles.
Bone broth is really healthy for you too. Do you all cook? If you have a pressure cooker or something and making bones, you can use that and cook it for a few hours.
Charles says I've been using Babe Lash and I'm feeling
Babe
very
Lash.
pretty.
I'm feeling very pretty. He's so funny. So,
Hey.
do you have the permanent lashes? Do you both have permanent lashes? Do you do that?
Oh.
Do you know what I'm talking about?
Are you talking about like lash extensions?
Yeah, they just set it on your eyes,
Yeah.
and it saves you a lot of time. It saves a lot of time getting ready. My makeup and hair, it takes 3 minutes, 3.5 minutes. Makeup, hair, and 6 minutes total. Shower, hair, and makeup in my clothes.
Wow,
And I'm out
I
the
thought
door,
I was
literally.
fast.
And I put my moisturizer on as I'm fixing the bed. So everything is timed to music. That's how I do my makeup. So I have 2 songs: shower, makeup, fix my bed, jump in my clothes, I'm out the door. 2 songs.
Wow.
Okay, what songs I have to ask?
Yeah,
Oh,
what
I
songs?
love Bruno Mars. I love Bruno Mars.
Bruno Mars, okay.
Yeah, I love like funk and kind of like Earth, Wind and Fire and Santana. I love Santana.
Mhm.
So I'm kind of like that. It's just a lot of funk kind of music.
Yeah.
So it's all good.
Wow.
I like disco music too.
I do too.
Yeah, I love roller skating. Do y'all roller?
Oh, I used to
my
love roller
gosh.
skating.
I love roller skating.
I haven't done it forever, but
Me
I
either.
mean,
It's so coming back into trend right now,
Mhm.
roller skating and that kind of funk music and
yeah.
the mirror ball, and I love that.
Mhm.
You
That's
know
my-
that
that's my
Louisville,
jam.
Kentucky is the disco ball capital of the world. Did you know that?
Where's that?
Louisville, Kentucky, where I am.
Oh, no, I did
disco
not know
ball
that.
capital of the world.
I did not know
I didn't know that. That's good to know.
That's good to know.
Very useful information.
It's very
That's what
important.
we bring
That's
in
a
here
good.
on
By the way,
Candidly
that's a good
Speaking.
first date is roller skating.
Oh yeah.
That's something fun. Don't go to the movies for the first 5 dates. Don't go to the movies. But
Yeah, no.
first date,
Well,
you
yeah,
know,
you
definitely-
can't converse.
Yeah.
You can't do anything. You're
No,
sitting
but
there.
Or don't go
roller
to a loud restaurant because I'm like
No.
as I'm getting older, it's harder to hear background noise. Forget it. But so it has to be somewhere quiet, kind of.
Yeah. Exactly. So also, you know, when you guys go on your first dates, I'm there. I'm on the phone with you, and I can have you have your little headpiece, and we coach you through the whole thing. So that's just a whole
That's
different thing.
awesome. That's like
Yeah.
what Cyrano. That's fantastic.
Yeah.
Exactly. And I tell you what to say, and don't do this and do that. I've gotten so many marriages, and I didn't know if you knew this or not, Kellen, but I'm also an ordained minister. So
Oh,
it's
that's good to
all
know because
about
I may need one
yay
someday.
okay. Yeah, you will sooner than later. I've done a lot of marriages.
That is
And
awesome.
also renewal of vows as well on cruise ships.
Oh,
Okay.
I love that.
Well, how romantic.
But I did
Okay.
want to share with you something towards the end. I have my my information in
Mhm.
the banner, and it was a lot of people love this. It's called your love readiness score.
Yes.
How ready are you to fall in love? and it shows you the score, and it gives you the information, the results immediately. And then I have
Okay.
something to share on a one sheet is also the 10 biggest mistakes people make with online dating. They're huge
Okay.
mistakes that I will
I've made
share
9 of them.
Yes. And that's not including the scammers.
That's not including the
Wow.
scammers.
Not including
Okay,
the
12.
scammers. There it is. They're your relationship readiness score.
So
Okay.
I think it would be fun that people are watching it now and people that will be watching this on the replay to go take that test and then comment back and tell us how you did. I'd
Yeah.
love to find out how people
Interesting.
did.
Very
That would
interesting.
be great.
Is there anything else, Dr. Renee, because you have just been an absolute delight,
Oh,
and I think we have all learned so much. I learned things that I didn't expect to learn.
Mhm.
Anything else you'd like to leave us with? Anything else you'd like to speak about?
yes, as I said earlier, the secret ingredient to finding love at last is not just about love, but it's respect, acknowledgement, attention, and affection. Also knowing that there's the men and women speak different languages.
Mhm.
Women need love and men need respect. Men's egos are so fragile and they're like little boys. And so many times, as men get older, they get a little bit harder and tougher. But
Mhm.
as men in general, they're very fragile. And the more that we nurture them and take care of them and love on them, the more that they'll know that they're loved. Even simply, and this is for people who are already coupled, even simply, and if there's women out there, is acknowledge your husband for emptying the trash. Something so simple. Honey, thank you for emptying the trash. Thank you for bringing the trash cans in. Thank you for hosing it down, because that's kind of a dirty, smelly, icky thing. Not like sitting in poop, by the way, but just simply emptying the trash or making you a nice dinner or breakfast. And the men out there, you don't have to buy your wife or girlfriend, or your wife, I should say, the $100 bouquet. It's just a thought, just getting flowers just because, or writing a little, post-it note on the mirror to say, I love you and I appreciate you. Thank you for keeping up the house. It's gorgeous. You keep the house so nice. Or thank you for making the delicious dinner last night. Just those little compliments. Always find something good in what they're doing, even if they're messed up. Find something to say, honey, it's okay. It's okay if you broke that dish. It doesn't matter. In the whole scheme of things, they broke something and broke a glass. In the scheme of the world, it doesn't matter. Life is very short and it can happen in a second. Look what happened recently with Bob Saget.
Oh, I
Just
know.
he was a loving man and everyone loved him. That's what I'm sharing with everybody is love on the people who you have around them. Show them you love them, but more importantly, show them in actions and your intentions that they will feel it. It's not so much the words, but it is nice to say I love you, but the intention behind it, because they will remember the feeling that they got when they leave the room. That's so important. And so those words, and knowing that I believe in you, but more importantly, believe in yourself and believe that God believes in you as well. And remember that you have greatness within you.
That was beautiful. Thank you so much.
It was. Again, it's just been a joy having you on the show. Thank you so much. We definitely would love to have you back sometime. So
Okay,
hopefully we can make that happen. So thanks to everyone for watching.
Mhm.
And if you are watching the replay, please just comment and let us know that you were here and where you're from. We would love to know that as well. So subscribe to our YouTube channel. Get in touch with Dr. Renee Gordon. They're right there on your screens, how to reach her. Oh, look at that.
Love it.
Here's the other one. Here's the other one. Okay.
Oh gosh.
Thank you
And
so
thank
much,
you.
everyone,
fun.
for watching. All right, everybody have a great week. Thank
Well,
you.
thank you to our sponsors.
Oh, yes.
Goodwin Graphics, Blue Sky Video Productions, and Cards That Wow. And we will see you next week. We have another fabulous guest, and I'm not going to tell you because I can't pronounce her last name yet, so I don't want to mess it up. So just know that she's awesome.
Okay. Then we will see everyone next week. And thank
See
you
you next
again so
week.
much, Dr. Renee Gordon. All right.
Thank you,
bye-bye.
Dr. Renee.
Thank you. You're very welcome.